About half an hour outside Cooktown in far North Queensland, the flat, green savanna is broken by a massive anomaly. Jutting out of the scrub grass is an imposing, towering pile of jet-black boulders. For over 150 years, people and animals have wandered into this rock formation and vanished. Local historical records document missing cattle, lost prospectors, and entire police search parties sent to recover them who were never seen again. These disappearances earned the site a reputation as Australia's own Bermuda Triangle. Local folklore includes erratic aircraft instruments, strange moaning sounds echoing from the rocks, and large shadowy masses moving around the perimeter at night. These compounded stories have turned the mountain into a unique geographic outlier, a striking landmark sitting inside a public national park that visitors are strictly forbidden from approaching. There are no marked trails leading up the mountain, no guardrails, and zero built-in rescue access points anywhere on the rock face. While search and rescue teams in other regions use thermal imaging and specialized vertical access gear, this static pile of rocks manages to entirely defeat modern recovery efforts. Park authorities keep the mountain closed for purely practical reasons. They are managing an unyielding physical trap that currently defies our best engineering and rescue protocols. Understanding the trap requires looking past the surface. Despite the name, the rock itself is actually standard pale gray granite. That deep charcoal color comes from a biological crust of lichen and algae that has slowly grown across the exposed stone over thousands of years. In 2022, historian Bev Shea traced the most famous missing person stories back to their original records. She found that decades of informal campfire retellings had distorted a smaller number of real, documented tragedies into exaggerated folklore. But removing the supernatural elements doesn't make the site safe. By stripping away the ghost stories, we expose a mechanical threat that is far more intimidating. Millions of years ago, magma cooled and solidified into distinct granite boulders deep underground. Over an immense span of time, the softer earth covering them slowly eroded and washed away. This left behind a precarious, gravity-locked jumble of boulders. House-sized rocks balance against one another like a massive, naturally occurring Jenga tower. Beneath that dark biological crust is a three-dimensional labyrinth. The boulders rest at awkward angles, creating completely hidden voids and cavernous drops that are impossible to see from the surface. If someone slips into one of these gaps, they plummet into a jagged negative space. The mass of the granite blocks all sightlines from above and immediately deadens any sound, trapping any call for help deep within the rock. Rescue tactics fail in this geometry. Tracking dogs cannot pick up a scent on bare, sun-baked rock, and standard lowering ropes immediately snag on the sharp, non-linear angles of the crevices. This creates the fatal rescue paradox. Shifting even a single boulder to reach someone risks destabilizing the entire formation, triggering a collapse that would crush both the victim and the rescuers. The terrain acts as a one-way valve. Once inside, the physical geometry of the rock makes search and rescue structurally impossible. If someone survives a fall, they still face extreme outback heat, rapid dehydration, and profound geographic disorientation that seal the fate of a lost traveler. Even reaching the rock pile is hazardous. Nearby waterways carry high risks of drowning, often complicated by apex predators camouflaged in the mud. Long before European settlement, the Kuku-Yalanji people understood these dangers. Their traditional name for the site is Kalkajaka, Place of the Spear, a sacred ancestral battlefield containing the remains of the dead. The traditional owners recognize this place as one of immense danger. Decades before modern science mapped the internal voids, they established a strict boundary, observing the mountain from a distance rather than attempting to climb it. European settlers invented ghost stories and Bermuda Triangle myths to explain the disappearances, but the indigenous caretakers relied on a perfectly accurate, pragmatic understanding of the terrain. The physical hazards of the terrain, the hidden voids, the extreme heat, and the jagged geometry provide a complete explanation for a century of tragedy. No supernatural entities are needed to account for the missing. Black Mountain remains deadly because it is a perfect geological trap ruled by gravity and friction. The brutal physics of the boulders are terrifying on their own, proving that Kalkajaka's original warning was exactly right.